Last spring, in the spring of 2009, the commissioners determined that they would put on the ballot a question to the voters. And the question was, did the voters want to form a commission to study Luzerne County government? And it was a yes-no question. And it was on the ballot in May. And by a majority of something like 77 to 23%, the voters voted to form a study commission. 11 members of the commission voted that we thought, at the conclusion of our study, that we could make Luzerne County government more efficient, more accountable, and more responsive to the citizens. We have proposed a new government, a new form of government. And this government is a council-manager form of government. The council-manager system was designed to combat corruption and unethical activity in local government by promoting effective management within a transparent, responsive, and accountable structure. More than 3,500 or 49% of the 7,171 U.S. cities and towns with populations of over 2,500 residents or more operate under the council-manager form. Under the council-manager system, the professional manager makes the day-to-day decisions and the professional staff. The political council is not involved in day-to-day decisions, and indeed under our charter, under section 2.17, cannot be involved in day-to-day decisions. The legislative power in the county is given to an 11-member part-time council. The council members are paid $8,000 a year. They are elected at large. The council does budget, tax rates, long-range planning, land use, big-picture capital projects, those types of things are what the council does. We eliminate the election of all row officers except for two. We keep the district attorney elected, and we keep the county controller elected. All other row officers, the functions continue. The county has to record deeds, and we need somebody to go out and do the coroner's job and look at bodies. And we need to do all those types of things, but those functions will now be managed and supervised by professional staff and not by elected officials. We also have political power in our county is concentrated in two majority county commissioners. So if you win an election, the two majority commissioners, they control county operations. We thought that was too great a concentration of power, and so we created an 11-person council to dilute a concentration of political power in the county. We have problems with elections, but county commissioner elections in Luzerne County are tremendously expensive. We know that from what Commissioner Skrepenak and Vonderheide spent when they ran for commissioner, something like $750,000 or more, to be a $42,000 a year county commissioner. And we thought that it was important to reduce the influence of big money contributors in Luzerne County politics. And we do that by having a bigger panel, electing 11 people instead of 11 council members rather than 3 commissioners, and by having elections more frequently. Every 2 years now you'll have a county election for council. You'll elect 6 council members and then 5. Right now we have 3 county commissioners, and what region do they represent? Who do they represent? Well, not clear that there's much representation at all. We're a big county of over 300,000 people. I think there's 12 school districts in our county, and we wanted to create opportunities for minority parties and minority interests and geographical interests to have more representation. And we do that by having the large council. The large council now, with 11 people on the council, gives lots of chance for lots of interest groups, geographical, political, and otherwise, to get elected, have no chance to get elected to a 3-member county commission. The county does not now have an accountability, conduct, and ethics code. Our charter has an ethics code and an administrative code. And state law does not permit the county now to have initiative and referendum. If the voters want to put something on the ballot, the voters do not have the power to put something on the ballot. And we create the power for the voters to put something on the ballot, which is initiative and referendum. The current system has no term limits for any official. We thought that term limits were a good idea. And so our system limits the controller and the district attorney to 2 4-year terms and council members to 3 4-year terms. We created the resign to run rule. And the resign to run rule says if you are a full-time county elected official, that you cannot run for another office while you serve as a full-time county official, and you must resign from that office. The row officers are independent from the county commissioners. we eliminate the election of these row officers, with the exception of the controller and the DA, so that there can be, the professional manager and staff can have control over these offices and the way these offices run. Now, other problems with county decision making. A majority of 2 commissioners control the county. The commissioners are day-to-day operation, and they're the legislative body. The commissioners negotiate contracts and then vote on the contracts they've negotiated. Under our system, and I'll come to it later, the council doesn't negotiate contracts, and the power of negotiation is in the manager. The power of approval of significant contracts is in the council. We separate negotiation and approval. I talked at the beginning about having political people and elected people hiring, doing the hiring, and making those decisions. And we eliminate the ability of the council to participate in the hiring process, to eliminate the political influence on hiring and firing in Luzerne County. And our charter will require and mandate the creation of accountability, conduct, and ethics code in Luzerne County, and also a board, an accountability, conduct, and ethics board that will enforce and oversee the ethics rules. These standards do not exist under state law, and we will create these within our county. Our charter requires that the council meet at least one time per month in the evening. We define evening as 6 o'clock or later. And our system requires the manager to hold an annual forum, an annual public forum, and to issue an annual State of the County address to let the citizens know what's happening in the county. If this charter passes, the voters of Luzerne County will then, in their hands, have the power to amend and change their charter by county referendum. You will not have to go to Harrisburg anymore to fix systems of government that you think are broken. We propose to eliminate the jury commissioners. Their functions will be, they're already handled by the court, but to the extent there's any residual function, the court will have it. And the way things work right now, every county office has a solicitor or multiple solicitors. Everybody's got a solicitor. And we want to reform the way the county receives its legal services. So what we have done is we have created a unified county law department. We want the lawyers in the county owing their legal duty to Luzerne County, and not to individual members or officers of Luzerne County. The controller currently acts as a watchdog under laws adopted in June 27th of 1895. We looked at those laws and the control and the rules the controller operates under, and said we can strengthen and make better the controller's watchdog role. There's a government association called the Association of Local Government Auditors. And the Association of Local Government Auditors has promulgated model guidelines for local government auditors. And we have taken those model guidelines, modern model guidelines for how local government auditors should operate, and we've put those in our charter, we've strengthened them, and we've made our controller a model local government auditor. Everybody in the county has bank accounts. Many offices have multiple bank accounts. They control their own money. The recorder of deeds takes some money from deeds. They have bank accounts. The sheriff's got lots of bank accounts. And we fixed that by requiring that all county accounts now be maintained by the Budget and Finance Office, under the Budget and Finance Director, and under the county manager. There's an issue. The judiciary, as an independent branch of government, has a right to keep certain functions to itself, and you can't impede upon those functions. We can't make rules that hinder essential functions of the judiciary. My hope is that the judges and the county government under the charter will work together to, where appropriate, the judiciary will subject itself to uniform county procedures for purchasing and administrative procedures and ethics procedures. The charter requires hiring and promotion be done on the basis of merit and not on the basis of political or connection or family connection. Our charter requires that openings on boards, authorities, and commissions be publicly advertised, as job openings are publicly advertised, so that citizens can apply for those jobs. Understand about our charter. The charter is the constitution of the county. The charter does not solve every problem in the county. It is not a complete plan for government. Next year, if the charter were to pass, there will be a transitional team in a transitional year that will draft many of these things we've talked about. They will draft an ethics code. They will draft a personnel code that will begin the search for a county manager and for department heads and for people on boards and commissions that are going to be reconstituted under the charter. So next year will be an exciting year and an important year for the transitional team. But now the charter, if it were to pass in this November, would not take effect until January 2nd of 2012.